Who won the Scottish Premiership transfer window? Welcome back to Fog Football with a lot to get into, ladies and gentlemen. But I tell you one team that didn't win the transfer window, that would be Celtic, because their fans, they're raging, alright? And there's one guy in particular that is raging. So we're going to dive over to the Fog Football community page, which basically just shows our comments. Round of applause here for Matty Miles. This is what obsession looks like, guys. I mean, this guy cannot stop commenting here on Fog Football and my channel. This guy loves it, right? So 55 minutes ago, how fitting. Wee Stevie Liar, still blatantly deleting comments to save his Hun mate's embarrassment. Total coward this child is. So I replied, you've lost the plot, right? I mean, never in my buff have I deleted comments. I mean, honestly, and this isn't me being big-headed, the amount of comments that we get on a daily basis, for me to actually go through and scan them, right, and help my Hun mates, would practically be impossible to fit in a 24-hour period when you factor in, I've got to make other vids, and I've also got to live people, alright? You know that thing, L-I-F-E, that this guy doesn't have? That's what I've got, brother. Alright, so I mean, look at that. I mean, guys, come on. It is the Fog Football experience here. I mean, he says I'm deleting comments. Where's the comments? Maybe using a term like fat boy would come under threat for the YouTube comment policy. But yeah, we've got a few other comments here. Oh my god, the Celtic board's still taking the piss out of them. Look at that photo. They've put a beard on Mikey Johnson and re-signed him. That's pretty funny. If the new wingers are good, Sharon Kennedy will bang the goals in. There's a Celtic man that has got a bit of faith in it. Let's see. Nothing to do with the board. The guy decided at the last minute to go to Ajax instead of Celtic. It happens. That's life. I agree though. Celtic should have had their signings. Signing ducks in a row long before deadline day. What a war chest, says Davey. Matty Miles back in there. Susan Jones in there as well. Let's all laugh at the hobos in the East End. Glass houses, you were delighted with a draw on your own mid and gimp. I mean, I wasn't delighted with a draw. Fuck, I was calling for everybody's head on Sunday. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, there's the comments here. Used people have exchanged 45 goals last season for 4. So you've just got rid of 41 goals from your side. Then you have the Belgian dwarf that doesn't want to be there, that you can't even loan out, never mind sell. Now that is hilarious. Wee Stevie, bottom 6. Here, Raskin does want to be at Rangers, I'll let you know, but see Yusuf Shamiti, I'm not going to shy away from it. I think the guy's going to be ranked rotten for us, but it's a brand new day, and hopefully that guy can deliver, eh? But yeah, that's all the comments we'll go through, but yeah, we don't delete comments, man. Hell, I mean, let's see the ones that are held. I think it's just one for like 2 weeks ago. no surprise who it is. But yeah, we'll go back to this. So, who won the Scottish Premiership transfer window? Right, moving on. So, judging the mood at Glasgow's Big 2. So, I mean, if you were to say who's won the transfer window between Rangers and Celtic, I mean, whose team is significantly worse? I mean, Celtic are worse, right? And I think the key thing is, with Rangers, I genuinely believe if we had a good manager, we have improved the squad in certain areas. Certain areas it is weaker, and I'll admit that. But I think you've just got to look at the outrage, right? At both clubs. Celtic's is directed towards the board in their signings and who they've sold and who they've not brought in. Rangers, we're not really having a go at the signings. Like, yeah, we've had a go at like Rothwell and Aarons, and I can't deny that, yeah. But that, to me, most of the anger is being placed on Russell Martin. And the Shamiti deal as well, a bit's being placed on Kevin in that regard. But mainly our board's coming under pressure because they've no sacked the manager, not really due to the signings. Because if there's one thing you can't say, or there's one thing you can say, the Rangers board have backed Russell Martin. I mean, there's a lot of money that's been spent here. No two ways about it. So yeah, but we'll dive into this. So Celtic fans being satisfied with their club's transfer business feels like a rare thing. That is probably because it is. Supporters of the Parkhead side have become increasingly irate with the club's hierarchy throughout the summer for a lack of business they deem acceptable. That only intensified on deadline day as Celtic had not announced any new signings by the time the window had closed at 11 o'clock. Tunisia winger Sebastian Taniki, signed from Hammarby, was eventually announced after reports throughout the day suggested the club had failed to land multiple forward targets. Rogers' attack had looked somewhat undercooked this season. They failed to score across both legs of the Champions League playoff. They were blunt in the Old Firm. Nicholas Kuhn left in a big money move earlier this summer. Kyogo was sold last winter, and fellow forward Jota suffered a long-term injury at the end of last term. Summer recruit Shin Yamada has not been fancied. Callum Osmond has been signed as a prospect, while the additions of Balaguisha and left-back Zarachi came after Rogers' men lost in Almaty, although Nygren has looked a shrewd addition and Kieran Tierney brings undoubted quality. Deadline day signing Taniki will have to hit the ground running to shift the mood among the Celtic fan base. Well, I mean, it's factual, man. The amount of people that are cancelling or not getting their Europa League package at Celtic is pretty alarming now. It does talk about Rangers. What's it saying about Rangers? Pretty much a huge turnover of players. I honestly, man, I think the guys we've brought in are alright. I do. I just think we need a different manager to truly get the best at them. But can't deny that. I mean, look at that. The worst start to a league season since 1983. That's bogging. There's no disputing that. There really ain't. But select one answer. Who's in a stronger position after the transfer window? It's a fucking... I mean, obviously Celtic are in the stronger position in terms of like where they are in the league and are still favourites to win it, but they have regressed. And that's undeniable. With Rangers, to me, I just don't know. It's hard to judge the Rangers team because I just think the manager's so bad. So, I'm just going to vote Rangers for the sake of it. Let's see. Yeah, so Rangers are winning in the poll. Which makes sense though, because I think most Celtic fans would probably still vote Rangers because they hate their board, but again, I don't think they would. But yeah, that was a fog football poll. I still think Celtic would have won. Happy campers in Edinburgh. Well, I'll tell you what, club record deals all around, whether it was Brazilian midfielder Agu for Hearts or whether it was Cliggy from Luzerne for Hibs. Can't complain too much about that. Claudio Braga looks phenomenal for Hearts. The Jamestown analytic era is really kicked into life. Kasiridis, he was good against Livy at late goal. Stuart Finlay, phenomenal start to the season. And then Hibs have obviously added the likes of Jamie McGrath and Josh Mulligan. I tell you what, man, Hibs look good, Hearts look good. They did lose out in Lyndon Dykes, which was unfortunate. I thought that deal was going to go through. But yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, if you compare the Edinburgh club's windows to the Old Firm windows, night and fucking day. Right, Nisbet, and also a sign that might have went under the radar, Jesper Karlsson. He worked with Thielen at Elfsborg, and he's coming in for Bologna. A guy's played across Europe, a lot of games in Serie A, and he's got 14 caps for Sweden, so that's a big signing. Now, he is 27, so it's not like he's 20 or something, but that is a big signing for Aberdeen, and considering they made it pretty much in the dying embers of deadline day, they'll be very, 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 very happy with that. There'll be no complaining from Aberdeen fans based off their deadline day business. But what? I mean, is that it? Fuck me. It goes on to talk about Dundee United at Motherwell, but the rest of the league gets jobbed out, so let's see. Dave. As a Rangers fan, I'm happy to see the new signings and willing to give them full support and time to settle in and start producing results. Good to see defence being strengthened and at last some pace up front. Good blend of youth and experience. Left back though for Rangers. Yeah, Daniel Cornelius can play at left back, but he's not an actual left back. Disappointed Dons fan. Nisbet's a fine addition, make no mistake, but it's clear from Sunday's match alone, Falkirk, Pataudry, the Dons need more quality in midfield and defence. Thielen is splurged on forwards this transfer window, but we still leak goals and still can't break down well organised defences. Good night, John. Hibs are great to watch going forward, but still a bomb scare in defence. Wouldn't be such a drama, but the back line have been weak for some seasons. Dykes would have been a good signing, no doubt, but the forward line that needs bolstering in his opinion. No, it doesn't. Dykes would have been a great addition, but yeah, at the back, I think that's where Hibs are weak. I mean, Bashuri is good for me. I mean, fuck, I'd take him at Rangers, Rocky Bashuri. Absolute shambles at deadline day for Dundee. Also, some questionable signings in the window too. After a poor and lame Derby performance, we were crying out for more additions, but now we are stuck with what we have until January and not aspiring at all. Relegation fears most definitely. Yep, I agree with Anthony here. Not looking good for Dundee, but here it's not looking good for Donald's team in Dundee and Aberdeen either. So aye, leave your thoughts down below. Peace.